All right. Here with Jake Murphy, tour manager, Cody West, On Tour Outdoors. I live in Colorado, but I don't live quite where Steamboat is. I just moved here a year ago. And when I saw you guys were all headed out there in the snowstorm that hit, everybody seemed to be stuck.
Yeah.
We saw a bunch of people on Instagram, and according to one of our guys here that you talked to, you were stuck for 20 hours on the side of the road. Is that true?
Yeah, man. Somewhere around, give or take a few, but it was entirely long. I know that much. But Steamboat's one of those things, man. Going into it, you're in the mountains in January. Obviously, the weather's gonna be shitty. So going into it, you just kind of mentally prepare yourself for a fucking ass beating trying to get here. Festival's great once you're here and shit. It's awesome, but like I said, getting here is an absolute beating. But whatever, man.
What's it like driving a bus through the mountains? Because I imagine I get a little nervous driving, like once you start getting high up, once you get like 9,000 feet, like just driving my car around, you know?
Oh yeah, same, man. So thank God I obviously don't have to drive, but I have done this festival I think 6 times in a van where I have had to drive. Yeah, and dude, it is just fucking nerve-wracking. And I'm that guy, like, I guess anxiety is what you would call it, but I get nervous as shit when I'm not like in control or behind the wheel.
Yeah.
You know, and our driver, like, he's pro or whatever, but dude, I can't even I'm in the very back, window shut. Like, I just prefer to not know, what's going on. But yeah, it's terrifying, dude. Don't let anybody lie to you.
Well, I've heard Steamboat. It's one of, especially now that I'm close, like definitely like a bucket list type of thing I want to go to. It seems like one of the more unique, really kind of. It's not this big festival where you see like in the summer. It's super cozy and like intimate, and it seems like everybody's kind of hanging out, right?
Yeah, dude.
How would you describe it?
Cool. It's cool, man, because there's a bunch of venues per se, and they're all kind of going on at the same time, and none of the rooms are like super huge. I mean, there's the big tent and the grand ballroom, which I would say are semi-large, but there's like, the Dung Beetle and Timber and Torch, which are like super small, like intimate listening room types. You know what I mean?
Nice,
So yeah, that atmosphere shit, man. And it doesn't matter like any time of the day, if you're awake, somebody's playing somewhere, so if you're a huge music fan, which obviously you guys are, yeah, bucket list for sure, man. And obviously the skiing and snowboarding and shits, I mean, you're not going to find that anywhere else, but it's sweet.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you guys find time to hit the slopes at all, or do a lot of the artists and crews, or is it more of like, we got other stuff to
just
do?
drinking?
Man,
drink and smoke weed.
Yeah, so there's obviously all that for sure. And when I'm 28 now, and I mean, I know that's still young, but when, so little backstory real quick. I was Parker McCollum's tour manager from 15 to 18. So I did my first 3 years here with him, and he boards hardcore. Like, he's pretty good, but in 2018, dude, he fucking ate shit and snapped his collarbone just completely. Yeah, he had to have 2 plates put in here, like in town, like the next day. So I mean, like after that, I don't hard as I did, but boarding's cool and shit. It's just, I don't know. It's
not worth it.
Yeah, it's the fucking, like, to get your shit, like your board and stuff, it's like an hour long line every day because you got to like return the shit in and then get it again. But I would say a lot of people do it. A lot of the bands and crew, but not really my thing anymore. Just, I'm out of shape and fucking old.
I broke both my wrists at the same time snowboarding once.
Jesus, I bet that was a hell of a trip.
on a grind rail. I was doing all that shit, and then
Yeah.
never again. Just I'm too old for that now. I get it.
Oh man. Speaking of being a tour manager, now you're with Cody West, like we mentioned. How's that been?
Dude, it's been great, man. So I've been with him since October of 2018. Cody's the shit, dude. He as musically talented. I mean, dude, insanely talented guy, and super pro. Obviously, it helps if you're a fan of whatever band you're in. And his music's great. He's a good dude. The music we're putting out is kind of a different direction than I would say the Texas country-esque type thing. You know what I mean? But we're gonna stick to it and see where it goes. And I mean, that's the heavier sort of pop punk-esque stuff. He grew up on that. I grew up on that. I mean, I don't know how old you guys are, but I mean, I'm sure that sort of music probably influenced you at some point in your life. So, I mean, just kind of getting back to the roots and, that sound that we grew up on and love, that grungier fucking heavy shit, you know what I mean? And Cody's the man when it comes to that style of tune. So I'm excited to, continue to watch him develop and see where this shit goes. And, this tour that we're on now, we're about to hit like Seattle and Oregon and LA and all that shit, which I feel like, that genre might hit a little better in, and that's no shade against the Texas country thing. I mean, we play there 85% of the time, and
Yeah,
it's given us all careers for the last fucking 7 years or whatever the fuck, so it's great. I just feel like out on the West Coast and shit, the rock scene might be a little larger, more, interactive or what the fuck, Yeah. You see what I'm saying, dude? I don't even know.
Me and Steve were talking before we hit record on this, but it is interesting how like there's like this Texas scene umbrella that encompasses a lot of like rock artists, for lack of a better, to simplify it. Like, and Cody's, one of those guys.
Yeah, man. I would say like guys like Cody. We're currently on tour, or not yet, but starting the 10th, we're on tour with Austin Mead. He's one of those heavier style guys, and of course Gio and Ko and those dudes.
Yeah.
And I feel like that happens because all of those guys' first record was sort of the Texas country vibe, know what I mean? So once they like established a fan base or a career or whatever the fuck in that scene, I just feel like once you're in that scene, dude, you're in that shit, you know what I mean? And they just kind of, once the fans or whatever relate to you, it doesn't necessarily matter what you put out. Those people can find enjoyment in whatever it is because it's it's Cody or it's Gio or it's Ko or it's somebody that they've already enjoyed.
Yeah,
but
we had. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, you're absolutely correct that the Texas country umbrella does embody a lot of different genres per se. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like with our fans, like a Koe Wetzel does so well, and we love the guy personally. Like one of the sweetest guys you'll ever meet, but he's just like hardcore rock star. That like. When you talk about country singers that we've met, it's like Koe Wetzel's a very different breed.
Sure.
He's like put into that, but it's like, this isn't country music when you listen to it. And he even said it on the podcast, but then he did say, Wes, was it when he turns 30 for his mom, he promised her a country album.
Yeah.
So I was like, and he's going to crush that. He's going to do
that's what's amazing. He will absolutely fucking slay that shit. So Ko was my roommate all through college, all up until 2018. And then we still live probably 10 minutes from each other. I live in Glen, lives up in Granbury. So that's one of my absolute best friends. He hunts with me all the time, dude. And when I say the motherfucker is just as musically talented as anybody I've ever come across, I mean, dude, he's just good, man. He's a great singer, great writer. His live performances are obviously fucking.
Yeah.
But that's funny as shit that you bring that up, because he absolutely, mark my fucking words, will murder that country and, you know, whatever it is that he decides to do. I genuinely do hope that he sticks to that though, and does it. You know what I mean?
Well, it makes you think of like a Cody Jinx, who was a heavy metal singer, right? Or was right considered heavy metal, and then he just became a country singer, and he's as legit as they come. You know what I mean? It's like pretty cool to see that.
When I look at that dude's career, it's just like, holy shit, man! I mean, went from playing the white elephant in the stockyards or whatever to just, I mean, absolute slaying like stadium tours and shit.
Yeah. Now he's going to be opening up for Luke Holmes at Ohio Stadium. It's like kind of
fun story about him, man. When I was with Parker, it was probably 2016. We were opening for him at this thing called German Fest in this town called Munster. And
Munster, Indiana?
No, no.
Oh, I'm from around there. That's why I was like, wait, what? Sorry.
This German town up north of where we're from.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah, dude, we were opening up for him there, and our fucking guitar player at the time, his name was Kurt Grind. He walks up to Jinx and he's like, "Hey man, are you in the Jinx band?" And I'm there, dude. I'm like, "Oh fuck, man." And, but he's just as cool as the day is long. It was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm actually him," you know. It was cool about it, dude. But I was so embarrassed. I mean, at that time, I was still like super new in this scene, career, whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, even, you know, seeing Jinx, I was like, oh shit, that's him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then our player just fucking clueless as the day is long. Hey man, are you this band? Fuck,
you look like Tony Hawk, like those people.
Oh, that's funny.
On I believe his name was Clayton, who sets these up for you guys. Yeah. I was told y'all are gonna be drinking whiskey, so I brought.
Well, we got Bush Light. Go ahead. We got some Bush because today we launched our Bush apparel.
Congrats, dude.
We're gonna send you a bunch of this shit because a lot of the stuff we did is like outdoors. Obviously, this is a duck one.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna send you guys a bunch of shit.
We would love it. I'm gonna mix this with Sprite. Y'all don't talk shit.
Oh, that's all right.
Do you?
And another thing, our bus is out of cups, so I'm rocking these dudes.
The Dixies.
Oh, like the
dentist cup for the mouthwash.
The fucking cup, dude, really.
A living embodiment of the bro country lyric of Dixie cups. Fireball in a Dixie cup.
Yes, sir. It's real, you know.
When's the last time you had Fireball?
Yesterday.
Oh. I was gonna be like, oh, it's been like a few years. I'm 33, no. So you're a little younger than me. So like, Fireball became cool when we were in college.
Yeah.
It was like dollar shot nights and shit, even in Chicago where we went to college, and it just like as you get older, that it becomes almost like a gimmick shot where you're just like, oh, you want to torture somebody with it because it's got the texture of NyQuil.
Yeah, it's the original Rumple.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And now I'm buying George Strait's tequila like a gentleman.
Right, yeah. Only drinking it with 3 cubes of ice.
Just spilled all over myself laughing.
How did you kind of get into this tour managing type of country Texas music scene?
Okay, that's a good good story, man. So fucking randomly, dude, to be honest, I went to college in Stephenville, and when I say I went to college, I mean that in the loosest way.
I was there.
Yeah.
Physically there.
I lived in town and occasionally went to an event. But so I'll fucking tell you straight up. So I was a major stoner at this point in my life. And I was chilling in Stephenville, stoned, and one of my buddies from fucking high school summer camp, dude, I haven't seen this fucking guy in like 6 years. He calls and it's like, dude, you still in Stephenville? And I was like, yeah, man. He's like, bro, I'm swinging through for work, man. And I'm going to finish up my shit and I'm going to come chill. I was like, man, fuck. All right, dude. So he comes over, and of course he's wanting to like drink and go out and shit, which is not my forte at this point. And he's like telling me to go to the bar and shit, and I'm like, no. But he comes up with this idea. He's like, dude, I just looked this thing up. They're having a singer-songwriter tournament or whatever the fuck out at T-Birds, which is the bar on Melody Mountain Ranch where LJT is. So we go out there, dude, and we show up in the middle of Parker's set, and it was right before he played Meet You in the Middle, and he was like, man, I wrote this song about my mom. We were having some sort of fucking issues or whatever. I was a pot smoking college dropout is what he said. And I was like, well, fuck, that's me, baby.
He's preaching to the choir.
Yeah, dude, like shit. So when he got done with his set, he was outside smoking a cigarette. And I smoked cigs at the time, and I didn't have any, of course. And so I asked him for a cig and bummed a cig, and we just talked and bullshitted for a bit. And I was like, hey, man, if you're currently still a pot smoker, I as well smoke pot. And if you would like to swing by later on your way out of here, you know, we'll smoke a blunt or something. He's like, all right, bet. And got my number, whatever. And I didn't think anything of it, you know. Well, me and my boy leave probably 10 minutes later, and I'm not even out of the fucking driveway yet. And Parker's calling. And so I sent him the address. He comes through, man. And, dude, we just broed down and smoked. And he was supposed to stay the night with Ben Hussey, who Texas music legend, man. He's played bass in, like, every band. He was, like, a Sixth Market Boulevard, or, you know. Anyways, well, we fucked around and smoked too long, and Ben locked his doors and went to bed. So Parker ends up having to crash on the couch and shit. Fast forward 4 weeks, he continues to have to come back because he keeps winning each round, right? Well, he ends up winning the whole thing, and he was like, hey, man, as payment for you allowing me to stay at your crib and shit, how about me and the guys come pick you up on our way out to the mountain, and that way you can get in with a artist band and drink for free and shit. I'm like, dog, like 21 years old, you're trying to let me go drink at LJT for free? Absolutely. So Wednesday morning, I'm like waiting by the road, my little fucking back. And they scooped me up, dude, and we went out there, and they ended up having some crazy ass run that week. And Parker was in like random, you know, just bullshit. And he was like, dude, you should come drive, man. And I was like, literally was barely going to school. And I was like, fucking cook at Chili's, by the way. Which sucks. I don't know if any of y'all have ever been involved in any bullshit like that, but it's terrible. So obviously quit my job and was like, fuck it, I'll go drive for this dude and, you know, whatever the fuck. And did it. And on the way home from that run, he was like, dude, you should be my TM. And I was like, I have no fucking clue what that is. So he got his buddy, or not his buddy, sorry, his agent at the time, who, looking back, probably just was his buddy.
I was gonna say it wasn't an agent.
But this dude knew more than me, which was clutch, because he called that guy. I was like, hey man, I've got this kid that I want him to fucking drive me around. Which at that point, a tour manager, that's all it is. You fucking drive, bro.
Yeah.
So that dude hit me up. I ended up going down to his house in Victoria, and we sat on the computer for a day. He kind of ran through how to advance shows and, you know, use their fucking booking shit and all that. And rest is history, man. I learned as I went. We started doing ears, so I had to learn, you know, audio and all that shit. And yeah, dude, it's random as shit, man. I had no fucking clue what I wanted to do with my life. My dad's a cop. My mom teaches fucking school. Just so you know, as like fellow fucking middle America as you can get.
Yeah.
And I dropped out of school and jumped in a van and have yet to get out.
Yeah, I love those type of stories. And I laugh when you said bummed a cig, because it's like how we obviously used to talk in college.
Yeah.
Was never a cigarette smoker. by any means, but we had this phase where, especially when we were in college, like you would get so drunk and then you would try to end your night with like, well, if you don't smoke a lot, you become paralyzed. Like your legs stop working.
Or like a horseshoe a dip.
there were times where I was on a bench outside and I was like, I can't move. I almost had to get like physically like lifted and like walk.
Oh yeah.
Everything just turns numb.
Cigarette, dude, like that first drag after a while of not smoking or dipping or anything.
Oh.
Holy shit, buddy. It'll do
it. Also, some of the worst. Was it US or somebody else I knew? The first time somebody had a dip that I was around, their first time, not mine, back in the day, and they swallowed it, and they're like, and I was like, "What are you doing?" They're like,
"That wasn't me."
That wasn't you, right?
No.
They didn't throw up, which absolutely blew my mind because one time I got a little bit down there, it just projectile vomiting if you get any of the juice down there.
And they're worse than once you start throwing up from that, stopping is fucking.
Yeah.
Well, you smell it. It's like coming through your nose.
One time, I dipped a little bit in high school, and then I kind of stopped for a while, and then picked it back up maybe junior year of college, kind of just recreationally, never like all damn
recreationally,
like casual. And I remember trying to like flick one out, and I just flicked it into my throat and down. And I puked so hard I was seeing stars, just like.
Oh, but that's just, and especially if you like try to fucking throw a dip in when you're drunk and don't necessarily have the best motor skills going on. Yeah.
I remember I would have to like hand it to my friend and be like, "Can you pack this?"
Right.
And then and then the pouches became more popular, and I was like, "Oh, thank God." They're just like there used to be girls, like shot girls at bars that they would walk around with. It was like snuff, or what was it called? It was like you don't have to spit it out, chewing tobacco.
Snuff.
Yeah,
Snuff.
The Camel brand.
Oh, it was awful. Like,
not good.
And you would have to put like 10 in your mouth for it to actually even do anything.
Yeah, the whole pack.
Now you take one hit of the weed pen after drinking, and you're just like, my head is like a balloon, which I love.
Yeah, that's Cody's main forte. He's not a drinker, but the dude will put down a fucking pound of weed in about a week.
What about like edibles? Does he do that, or is it more just smoke?
Dude, okay. Another story. Hope you guys are prepared for stories. We got a lot of.
All we want is stories.
So, Durant, Oklahoma, there's a venue there called Bubba's, and we're buddies with the owner there. And obviously, as y'all probably know, Oklahoma is medically legal, right? So, and medical marijuana and edibles included are much fucking stronger than rec stuff, right? So
it was like cancer patients and
yeah, like people that probably actually need it,
right?
But so Paul, who runs that bar, got me and Cody these 1,000 milligram bars, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So me and Cody, and I still smoke a lot. I'm not going to put it all on him, but so me and Cody obviously think our tolerance is pretty high. So that venue's kind of close to the house, probably an hour away. So we head home about 30 minutes away from the house. We eat them, right? So backing the van and trailer into Cody's driveway, which you have to do because you can't turn around down there. His driveway is probably a quarter mile long. And dude, when I fucking put the van in reverse and did this little number here to look back, dude, my vision, like I turned my head and it was just like caught up me. And I like immediately was like, oh no, like way too soon. I get an extra fucking 15 minutes to get inside. But dude, when I tell you that shit wrecked me, buddy. And what was fucked, and we didn't think about it, is the next night we had a hometown show. So Cody's like grandparents and his fucking in-laws and everybody he's ever met that loves him is at this show.
Yeah.
And of course, they always want to know like how the road's going and shit. And so they all they all want to come talk. And they're like, hey, man, I saw y'all doing this and this. How's things going? And I'm just fucking paralyzed looking at his granddad, just like, it's great, man. You know? Dude, that shit, I couldn't shake it for like 40 something, like a solid 2 days. I was like,
oh, fuck.
Man, I know.
Did you took it 500 milligrams each or 1,000 each?
No, we each smacked our own bar. So 1,000. Yeah.
Dude.
And, you know, like we
Joey Diaz, the comedian, does that type of shit. I don't know if you know him.
Who?
Joey Diaz, he's like a really cool comedian. He's an actor too. Yeah, he'll do like what you guys did.
Yeah, and obviously we expected to get very high, but it was the fucking time period, dude. With like, man, I woke up day 2 and was like, okay, I'm done being high. Like, if I could just think straight for 10 minutes,
That's amazing.
Jesus, I think I'd have to go to a hospital.
We had a couple of pockets where West took an edible, like nothing near that amount. Like
it took like 10 milligrams.
10 milligrams. We had to like delete the podcast. It was just gibberish. Yeah.
That's the standard there. That's where you want to be around. The 1,000 is fucking ignorant. It's not smart. And those bars, they're 200 something bucks.
Oh, wow, yeah. Which makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, like obviously they're not fucking selling those bars for you to eat all at one time, like fucking nibble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
well, speaking of you mentioned some of the guys you like hunted with earlier, and On Tour Outdoors, which is awesome. If people don't know, first, can you just kind of describe it to people, and then kind of like how it came about?
Yeah, man. On Tour Outdoors is basically where I take musical artists, which as of right now, it's basically just in the Texas country scene, which I guess Parker's kind of broken out of that quite a bit. Anyways, I take musical guys and we hunt. We everything from bear hunting to aoudad, whitetail, mule deer. And it started as, I've obviously been a fan of hunting, grew up watching, you know, Bone Collector, Michael Waddell, all those dudes. And they all kind of stick to the same basic, you know, template of a hunting show, which is what's going on, you guys? We're here in Kentucky. I'm so-and-so. We're hunting whitetail fucking buck deer, and it's going to be badass. Stay tuned. Which is cool, and that's for,
right.
You know, fucking however long it's been a thing, and it's cool. But I just, you know, I see that, and I see a whole fucking side of this shit, because anybody who actually hunts, who actually has a deer lease, goes to the lease with their boys, it's something that they love to do. You're drinking, you're fucking smoking cigs or weed or whatever the fuck it is that you're in. You know, it's not only pursuing something that you love, it's a vacation, dude. And anybody who does that can relate to that. And so I grew up watching those shows, and I was like, dude, somebody needs to show the other side of this. And it's not my shit, like it's not based around partying or getting fucked up or anything, but I'm not going to censor that out. And I'm also not going to, you know, invite somebody to come hunt with me. You know, let's use Cody. I'm not going to ask Cody to come hunt with me and then say, oh, you smoke weed every day? Well, don't do that here. You know, I want you to be the fuck you are. And I want the people to see that, because they don't want to see some fabricated fucking scripted shit. You know what I mean? And I've just, you know, which has not always been well for this. It's been super fucking difficult to get accepted into the hunting world, because, you know, I mean, yes, at the end of the day, if you're fucking drunk in a deer stand and you injure a deer due to the fact that you're fucked up, that's not fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a fine line on the times that you choose to, you know, partake in whatever it is that you're going to do. And so, you know, obviously the day partying, the fucking all that shit, it's taboo. We've never hunted drunk ever.
Yeah.
And it's just, but when somebody sees a fucking Coors Light in the background of something, and they just automatically jump to these guys are drinking and hunting and shit, which is not the case. But it's taken a while to shake that rep, and actually maybe, I mean, I'm not gonna say like I'm respecting the hunting world, I'm probably fucking not, but accepted into that. Well, these dudes aren't just getting fucked up all the time and acting like assholes and driving around shooting, deer and stuff. But anyways, back to what I was saying. It came from me sitting there watching Meat Eater, matter of fact, which is like the most professional, badass fucking show I've ever seen.
Yeah, I love her now.
Oh, dude, it's Steve Rennell's the man. But anyways, I was watching that, and at the time, myself, Mike Ryan, and Parker were all hunting this place out east, and I'm thinking like, I mean, dude, I'm hunting with these dudes all the time. These fans of Mike or fans of Koe, they love to see that side of them, not on stage, not in a professional interview type thing. Just what the fuck we're doing when we're not at work.
Yeah.
And I when that idea hit me, it was just like, dude, I think that'd be fucking cool as shit. But it's just been so difficult to tread that line of staying away from your typical traditional, in my opinion, semi-boring hunting show and trying to incorporate the other aspect of that while all the while not pissing anyone off by, giving the impression that we're acting any way we shouldn't, so it's been tough. It's been a long road, but dude, it's so sick. Watching any sort of success from anything that you've been working on is great. And, we're starting to get, a lot of outfitters from all over the world really hitting us up. Hey, I want you to bring so-and-so out here. Let's film, it's cool. Yeah. It's opened up a shitload of doors, but, yeah, man, On Tour Outdoors has been great. Just a fucking idea I had and was like, that should probably be capitalized on,
Yeah.
Gotta take us out.
Yeah.
Anytime I want to, man, please. Like when I tell you hunting is all I do, when I'm not on this bus, that is it, brother.
Well, our extension of Riff Outdoors that we launched was kind of the similar thing where we were like, our hunting content, our fishing content, some of the videos that we've gotten and shared. It's some of the shirts that we sell or hats. I'm like, it all kind of like went back to like, okay, we obviously have a bunch of country fans, but so much of the fan base is young outdoors fans. And
man,
instead of being this like super meticulous hunting type thing, we wanted it to be a little more also camp when you get back from hunting and you pound a bunch of beers and smoke weed like you talked about, and you play a song and you're that part
cooking.
Of it,
yeah.
Cooking like is a big thing that I love. And so it's like we want to like showcase that a little bit. Like being outdoors is also people that just maybe go on a hike and smoke a joint. You know what I mean? Like being outdoors doesn't always have to be just like hardcore hunters. And that's kind of how we approach
what grain arrow you're using. It's like, it doesn't always have to be that. And a lot of people, they don't understand that necessarily. So
technical bow nuts. I love them.
But
yeah, dude, we've done some cool shit, man. So 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago. So myself, Koe, Shiloh, who plays guitar for Koe, Colton Harris, who was teaming for Koe, JP, who does my editing, all Koe shit. He was there. We did 32 miles down the Devil's, down south, dude, and it was fucking incredible, man. It was a 4-day trip. Y'all still there?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
But 4-day trip, dude. Like I said, 32 miles, I think. And man, it was just kayak the whole way, fished, camped, dude. It was incredible, man. And I want to start doing more of that because honestly, I do feel like all we fucking do is kill deer and shit.
Yeah.
So, I definitely do want to start incorporating other aspects. Like you're saying, just whether it's fucking hiking somewhere cool as shit or fishing or, anything outdoors. I think I want to start really getting,
After the podcast, we got to start, or after you guys get back, we got to start talking with you more about how we can work together on some of this shit. Cause I think we could do some really cool stuff.
Fuck yeah.
Just our fans, man, they're just like so into that stuff. And for me, like being in Colorado now, you just kind of feel it when you're just outside. You don't even have to be doing anything, like I said, but
where
West can get out. I'm in an area called Parker, so it's outside of Denver. It's pretty close to Denver though, but not quite Denver. But we're driving distance to like Evergreen and all these places. And when we went there, there's elk are just running the town. And so it's awesome. Like I moved from Chicago to here, and it's just the way it changed mental like calmness in life moving here. And I'm telling Wes, because we always joke about this on the podcast. Still in Chicago. And I'm like, anxiety, speaking of anxiety earlier, it's like even if you have some level of normal anxiety, when you move to a place like this, it just like slowly just starts to chip away and go down.
Simple, dude. It's great. We actually did a gig there at the Little Bear Saloon right there in downtown, bro.
Oh yeah.
Evergreen, Colorado. Me and Parker played there the 4th of July, 2018, man.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's a cool town, man. Evergreen's really cool.
And then Chicago, we play Joe's on.
Yeah.
We've been
plenty
drunk there.
We were going there sometimes twice a week back in the day. I got a 3-month-old now, so I haven't really been out much lately. And
dude, I've got one on the way.
We saw that. Congrats, man.
Congrats.
I got a 1.5-year-old over here. He's napping right now, which is perfect time to drink some beer. And
yeah, it is what it is. I'm scared as fuck, but I'm pretty good at learning as I go. So
that's the best. Like I would literally say the worst advice I got from anybody was like to like read those books about like, here's what you do. Here's what, it's like, no, if you're you're talking about like learn as you go type, which how I feel like I am, you do much better as a parent. Like once the baby comes to kind of just like feel it out. Like, okay, no, this is how I do it. You read a book and it's telling you, here's the blueprint for what, like,
no.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're a natural born problem solver, which I feel like I am, I mean, it goes with my job. I feel like you're fine in 95% of aspects of life, which could be arrogant and maybe incorrect as fuck. I mean, just such a skill to have. And I feel like with parenting, I mean, I obviously have no idea, but I feel like hopefully it'll help. I'm banking on it. So
no, it will.
Yeah. Well, and even like when you're in the hospital that first day or night when they're born, it's like you just like, oh, I gotta like, change their diaper. Like, oh, I've never done this before. You're like, you just figure it out. Like, what do you think? How do you think it works? Like, that's how it works, like it's not rocket science to like, wipe a baby's ass and put a new diaper on it. But yeah, congratulations, man. That's exciting. I think me and Steve can.
And your fiance or wife or girlfriend, I'm not sure, but she's been a big supporter of Whiskey Riff too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. She loves y'all's clothes and shit, man. She reps that shit often.
Yeah.
Does she travel with you on the road, or is she kind of just? I mean, right now probably not, obviously, but
absolutely not, dude. She's over the fucking bar scene. I mean, we're both pretty close to 30, so. I mean,
dude, my favorite thing now, and we've talked about this, I think, but as you get a little bit older, you get a house, you get a baby, like it's so enjoyable to just like have some garage beers, be in the garage, put a TV I just put a TV in the garage, I put a game on, have some beers, fuck around with stuff, get a buzz, but it's not like the idea of getting dressed up, putting cologne on, going to a bar, being out to it, and like fucking shoot me, dude. Like how we're drinking right now. This is the most fun way to like.
Yeah, you have a bunch of random people around you wanting to talk, or whatever the situation might be. I'm definitely over the fucking bars. Which I mean, dude, you guys.
A good dive bar is good, where it's quiet.
Absolutely. Yes. If I'm like one of 10 folks in like some fucking show. Absolutely, dude. I love that. But, I mean, just you guys can imagine, dude, I've been doing this shit a long time, 3-4 shows a week. That's 3 nights in a week in a bar, you know. So it's like fucking 8 years of doing that. Like, dude, I would rather do just damn near anything than go fucking hang out at a bar.
Well, and you can imagine that's why you like to hunt and be outside, because it's like such the opposite of.
Yes, dude, that's my time to kind of, you know,
press.
Yeah, you know, fucking quit worrying about love shit.
Right. So
who's the best hunter that you've kind of worked with? You know, you work with these guys like Parker, Koe.
Are you gonna piss somebody off? Is that what you're like?
Are some shit. I think Cody's actually sitting right up there. So
yeah.
No, I'm kidding. But he's Cody's fucking badass, dude. So he's the only one that is 5 for 5 with his bow, and he picked up a bow because of me. Like, he hadn't been doing the shit long. But Cody's that guy, man. Like, dude, if he grabs something, he ain't putting it down until he understands it. You know what I mean? Yeah, and that reflects in his music and his hunting. I mean, he's 5 for 5 with his bow. He just bought a Fierce firearm from those guys that we use, and took it out the first time, I guess, last month, and fucking smoked a big buck at like 320 or something, just ridiculously far. I was like, what? How far did you shoot him? Yeah. Dude, the rangefinder was saying like 320. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, good job. But you know, I would say, as far as just stats, Cody, who has much more time and experience in the woods, Koe. So me and Koe both come from the eastern part of the state, which redneck hillbilly shit. We fucking both grew up hunting with our dads, and you know, just that lifestyle has been much more embedded in Koe than anyone else that I hunt with, you know. Dylan Wheeler's a guy who picked it up and fell in love quick. Dylan has had fucking awful luck as far as hunting goes. He just, man, Dylan's one of those guys that you can tell he loves it just by sitting in the stand with him and seeing the way he reacts. Yeah. Like, when he sees a deer and I'm like, hey, shoot her, or he just knows, oh, dude, his breathing.
We just had him on the podcast.
He told us he almost died in Colorado.
Oh, dude, Colorado. So that was extremely fucking fun, but nobody took me serious when I was like, hey, listen, it's different up there. You're in elevation. You're walking inclines. Like, it's not no West Texas fucking flat shit you're used to. I was like, that whole thing is gonna fuck you up. And dude, sure enough, man, he had to walk up a hill, and I'm not kidding, it was a hill, and like, not a mountain, a hill.
An anthill.
Dude, I'm talking 50 yards into this son of a bitch. He's like, hang on. I'm like, oh God. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be a long day.
Yeah. But and I mean, I ain't gonna say it was all him. Like, dude, I was feeling a little cooler, but yeah. I was, you know, I was struggling.
Oh, it's, dude. In Chicago, before I moved, I was running every day, 5 days a week, multiple miles every day for about like 2 years. And it was just became so easy. And I was just like, I would pick it up. I would do it on the weekend with the dog, whatever. I move out here. First time I go for a jog, like I literally got like around the block to go onto the trail. And I was it's freaky. It's like, it's contracted. Like everything feels contracted. Like your rib cage feels like it won't move. And then I talked to a guy, I'm like, shit, I was pissed at myself. Talked to a guy at the gym who's a marathon runner, runs them every year, multiple times. And he's like, it took me like, I think he said it took him like almost a year to get his lungs to the point where he could do it here. But then there's a reason why UFC fighters will come to places like this, or I think Big Bear is another place where like they do it intentionally because it really like gets your capacity up. So there's a positive health benefit, but it's fucking not easy.
Oh, sure. I mean, I watch guys like campaigns and those dudes who fucking mountains and just fuck, dude, I can imagine. Like,
Cam Hanes works out in our Trisha Shania Reba t-shirt. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I just wonder how many miles that dude could down south, you know, or like someplace that the elevation isn't fucking
Because he's
stupid.
in Oregon, right? Like,
Yeah. And
so he's running a half marathon a day at least, he said, right?
yeah, 12.2 or some shit.
It's fucking crazy.
Right.
Absolutely. And dude, I collectively ran 12 miles, and all the running that I've done in the last 10 years, I promise you they do not equal 12 miles.
What do you, I get such a kick out of Cam. We never met him in person, but he's a really nice guy to talk to through DM and stuff, and we sent us some stuff. So yeah, I think he moved into that new house not that long ago, and he's doing that driveway shot by his truck, and all those people that talk shit to him. And then one time he put the target on top of the windshield, and people were so pissed, and he's doing it to troll people. Right?
Oh yeah,
like he knows he's fucking. Like
he's gonna miss.
I get a kick out of it. Like,
he's like the best low key troll in the world, and what fucking sucks about it is the proof is in the pudding, dog. Like, and what the fuck are you gonna say?
He trained Joe Rogan. Like he trained Joe Rogan. Like that's a pretty good.
Fuck is that? That's insane. And like watching those two guys hunt elk, and hats off to Joe. Obviously, he didn't grow up, but on his bow and shit. But picked it up through Cam. I assume, I'm not sure, but some of the shots that Joe has put on these bull elk from like 65, 75 yards, dude, that is fucking tough to do. And especially in the situation, like you have a world-class bull elk shooting its ass off, and Joe Rogan just fucking wheelhouses his ass. And you're like, dude, incredible, man. But that's like the kind of people that those dudes are, Cody on a much less scale, but it's just like people who grab something that they love to do and just capitalize on it and do it best that they can. That shit's so cool.
Wes and I always talk about like our kids are so young, but like maybe starting simple like duck hunting or something. But we get excited about like doing it with your kids because I didn't grow up doing it. I grew up fishing like crazy.
Me either. I didn't.
My dad wasn't taking me hunting deer. It was more like go fishing for catfish or whatever, perch or whatever. So like I'm excited to like do it with my son and Wes with his daughter, like, and us to go as like us four, and then the wives can go do whatever the fuck. Like,
sure,
you know what I mean?
So Dylan has a young boy too. He might be one by now, but anyways, obviously whenever it came about that I had one on the way, me and Dylan immediately, oh dude, family fucking like 5 years, that's gonna be sick. I can see how that would be, the draw to that at y'all's stages in life.
Well, do you got a bucket list hunt on the map before we kind of wrap up here?
Man, I do. Actually have a shitload, but I'll narrow them down. But so we got invited last year to Africa, myself, Parker, and Koe. We're gonna do it. Obviously, COVID came and fucked everything up. That's gonna be a thing. It's just we're waiting on travel restrictions and all that shit to kind of clear up. We don't want to plan a bunch of shit and book dates and all that, and then something come. So we're just staying in contact with those guys and chilling and biding our time. But to answer your question, Africa, I would say, and Alaska and Ireland are all close seconds to those. Ireland's just fucking beautiful. So
what was that? Not that long ago, maybe last year. Cam and Joe, they went. I forgot what they were hunting, but they Hawaii.
Axis deer in Hawaii.
Oh, axis deer, yeah.
So axis deer were brought to Hawaii as a gift to the king in like the fucking 50s or some shit. I don't know, but they're like feral over there now. Like they're fucking everywhere. So like it's nothing but they're so turned on, like switched on and fucking scared all the time because they're like feral pigs here. Like people just all the time. So apparently hunting there is really hard, but it looks fucking sick, dude.
Yeah, it looked awesome.
They'll like jump the bow and stuff. They'll like hear this.
Oh yeah.
They're fast and
dude. Fuck yeah. So the ranch that y'all see 90% of these hunts being filmed on, they've got those there, and they're all free range. I don't know if y'all aren't from there, obviously, but last year there was a giant freeze.
Yeah.
State, dude, and fortunately enough for me, I got frozen at that ranch. I was there for like 8 days, just
Oh wow.
Little House on the Prairie type shit, you know. Dude, it was so. And I spot and stalked my buck in the ice, and dude, it was incredible. That was probably my favorite hunt, honestly. But you know, it was sick, dude.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. Jake, it's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely, fellas.
We gotta figure something out, work more together, but also to go hunting or fishing or whatever the hell we want to do.
You are welcome anytime, man. Just please holler, stay in touch, and get it.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. We'll be reaching out soon, man. And we'll send you some of this Bush Light stuff if you don't mind.
Oh yeah,
guys.
Sure.
Cheers, buddy. Be safe out here, and hopefully you guys can leave a little easier than you got into Colorado.
No shit. Thanks, boys. Y'all be good, and see y'all soon.
See you, Jake. Say hi to everybody.
Will do, boys. Later.
You man.